everyone, I hope I'm live. Okay, so you are able to hear me properly and I'm there on the screen. Just do let me know once I'm live and give a thumbs up to me. I'm there and I'm seeing from the comment box. Okay, so I believe we are there on the screen. Sure, great. Okay. So I think everyone is able to see me and hear me. Okay, just do gives me a thumbs up like I'm audible. Okay, so I'm audible also. I have checked from my side also. So right now we are there. Okay, so today first of all I would like to congratulate all of you for your result, as the result has been released for ISC and ICSE board. So a big congratulations to all of you for your hard work. Okay, so the upcoming batch, that is in 10th standard, you need to still work hard again for your board exams, and most probably the board exams will be held in March or in May. Okay, so around I would say in the first quarter of the 2022. So you need to still work hard a lot. Okay, so let's start with the for loop, today's topic. I think in the yesterday's topic or in the previous topic or the live session, we have discussed about what is for an object, what is a class, and how we have to create numerous objects or numerous objects from a single class. We have discussed all this. Okay, for those who still don't know what is a class and an object, they have to watch the previous live video so that they know what exactly all this Java is all about, classes and object. And with that you can just continue with the for loops. For loop is a very important topic. I would say it consumes around 20 to 30 marks, okay, directly or indirectly. How? Because you get 10 marks question for the pattern, okay, and then you are asked for a special number, like special numbers that are, you can say, magic number, happy number, dark number, sunny number. All those numbers can be only solved with the help of the for loop or either by while loop. So directly or indirectly you need a for loop or a while loop to solve these type of the questions. Later, array. So in order to learn array, this is a further upcoming topic for the live sessions, and array is an important concept. To learn array also you need for loop. To learn string also you need for loop. So for every upcoming topic from now onwards will require for loop. Okay, so you cannot skip for loop like I am very bad in the loop so I can just skip that. No, you cannot. Why? Because in the upcoming every topic you need a for loop. Okay, so without for loop I would say it is a backbone, or any for loop, while loop, do while loop, any loop, if you don't know them then it means you know the half of the computer language only, because I would say that loops are the backbone of the entire body or of the entire computer. So you need to learn at any cost. So I will be just teaching in a very easy manner that you are not afraid of the loops and you can do them very easily. Okay, so I think we can start with the for loops, and I have told you the importance, what is the importance of the for loop. Now we can just directly jump on the topic. So first of all, in order to tell the computer or the CPU, you can rather say to the computer or to the Java compiler, okay, or to the Java compiler, whosoever is running the computer or where you are running your Java program, there you need to tell I have to execute a loop. So for that we use the for keyword. This for keyword indicates that we are using a for loop. Now coming on to the topic, why do we need a for loop? Let's say I asked you, or I gave you a task, you have to write I am a student, a very simple line. I asked to write this line, let's say for 10 times. Writing this line 10 times, you can definitely write system.out.println, and then you wrote I am a student, your message here, and you can write this sentence, like you can cut, copy, paste this line again till 10 times. Okay, you can do it this 100 times. But what if I ask you, like, we need to print similar kind of lines around 1 lakh time? Then you can't keep the count of 10 lakh or 1 lakh, or even I can say it is tough to keep the count even for the 1000 also. So when we are not able to keep the count, and we need a certain job that should be done again and again for a fixed amount of time, then we need a for loop. So this work will be done by for loop. How? Let me explain you. For the instance being, let's take this upcoming example only, like I am a student. I want to print this line. Very simple. Okay, this line, I need to print this line. If I say I want to print this 1,000 times, it's very tough for me to write a system.out.println I am a student, system.out.println I am a student for 1,000 number of time, because it is very tough for us to keep a count or keep a track like on which number we are. To do this, what I can do is use a for loop. Now you can see, if by chance if I would be printing this line for 1,000 times, then I would be requiring 1,000 number of lines. As simple as that, because 1,000 times I have to write system.out.println 1,000 times. So my computer will be requiring 1,000 number of lines or 1,000 number of code. Okay, but this entire work I can do with only 3 lines, or rather I can send 2 lines. How? Using a for loop. Like here I can write int I is equals to 1, I less than equals to 1,000, and then I plus plus. And here I can write system.out.println, and here I can write my message, I am a student. Okay, so you can see here, within 2 lines, within these 2 lines, I am able to write how many number of code? 100,000 code, 1,000 lines of code. I have just compiled it, or you can say I have just compressed it or made it toned down. I can just tone down this 1,000 number of lines into just 2 lines. That's the magic of for loop. And if I go printing, then these 1,000 times it will be printed for sure, and you can have a count and you can see 1,000 times only it will be printed. That's the beauty of the for loop. Okay, so now I have told you why we require for loop. When we need to execute a fixed number of statements for a fixed number of time, there we require a for loop. As simple as that. Okay, so just give me a thumbs up like if you are able to understand till now what I am teaching. I taught you why do we require a for loop. As simple as that. So just give me a thumbs up down in the chat that you are able to understand. Okay, so I'm just looking at the chats. Okay, great. Okay, for those who are saying like they are always confused in the computer subject is confused. Okay, so I just need to tell you, get your concepts clear, watch the concept clarity channel, or else if you want that entire syllabus to be completed, just go to the code effectively channel. Okay, this is also a second channel of concept clarity only, where I have taught entire computer at free of cost of 10th standard, 9th standard and 11th standard. I am making the videos. Okay, so now you are able to understand. Okay, so I think there's a thumbs up for all. You are able to understand. That's great. Okay, so I request you all just to talk whatever necessary is out there in the chat, not to talk unnecessary things out here. So we are able to understand why do we require for loop. Why do we require? When we need to write, or rather you can say when we need to write or execute. Execute means to run. Rather, when we need to write, execute or run fixed number of statements. You can just write fixed number of statements for fixed amount of time. Or you can say fixed amount of time. Okay, like I want to print these type 5 statements for 1,000 times. As simple as that. There we require a for loop. Okay, so I think we are able onto the right track. So I can just tell you its code effectively, and you can just stylically easily search there and you can get that. Okay, so now another thing, how to write a for loop. This is an important thing. For that, what you do, let's say this is my starting point. Okay, this is my starting point. So let's say I'm running a race. This is a person who is running a race, and this is the starting point. As simple as that. After the starting point, he will run on the track, and then this will be what? The end point. As simple, a story, normal. Okay, so what happens when we are doing this? this is a track and the person will run a race. For running a race, you need to know the starting point. Okay, you need to know the starting point and you need to know the end point where you will have the strip there and you will cross the strip and you will be declared as the winner. And between that, you just have to run. Simple. Okay, you have to run the race. Or you can just have to keep updating yourself so that you reach the end. Okay, simple. So what exactly now for loop can do? In the for loop also we have three things. Similarly, I will just correlate this example with the for loop, this real world example. For, and here I require the initialization. Initialization is a technical term you need to use, or then you have condition, and then you can say the endpoint, or you can say here initialization, conditions, check, and updation, you can say rather update. Okay, so these are the three things. Now let's correlate them with the real world example that I have shown to you. How? In initialization, what we can do, simply initialization means what? Simply initialization means what exactly it means? Like we are just starting the race. I need to know where the race has been begun. So this initialization we can say is the starting point of the race. This is the person who is just getting ready on the knees, like how I will just start the race. Condition means like where I am. Am I in the middle of the track or am I at the end of the track where I have to stop? The person will be keep checking, am I there on the middle of the track or am I on the end of the track? Where am I? That's the condition checking. Okay, and then update means like if you are still not at the end point, keep running the race. It's just like we are motivating, come on, you can run the race. That's what you can say. It is what? Updation, or you can say in Hindi it is just motivating you. Okay, and here we can just have those number of lines that we want to execute. This is how we can correlate it. So I will just write that again down for you. Simple. It's a for loop. Here we can just, in the real world we can say we need to have a starting point. We need to check whether where we are on the end point or not. And if we are not on the end point, we have to keep motivating ourselves to reach the end point. That's a real world example, I can say. This is a real world. In the technical normal language we can say. Okay, like in Hindi if I say it is, पहले हमें शुरू करना है. शुरू करने के बाद हमें चेक करना है क्या हमने अपना काम कंप्लीट करा है कि नहीं. ठीक है, अगर हमने अपना काम कंप्लीट नहीं करा चेक करने के बाद, तो हमें क्या करना है? अपने आप को मोटिवेट करना है ताकि हम एंड पॉइंट पे आएँ, चेक करें अगर हमारा काम इज़ बीन डन. मतलब हम लोग अगर यू कैन से हम लोग अगर एंड पॉइंट पे आ चुके हैं तो वी नीड टू स्टॉप देयर. ओके, सो दिस इज़ व्हाट द एंड पॉइंट. ओके, और विद इन दैट यू विल हैव योर बॉडी मीन्स लाइक द पॉइंट जो आपको स्टेटमेंट्स यू वांट टू एग्जीक्यूट अ फिक्स नंबर ऑफ टाइम. ओके, सो दिस इज़ अ वेरी एग्जाम्पल ऑफ अ रियल वर्ल्ड. Now I will just give you another, like how you have to write the syntax of the for loop. That is always asked in your board exams for 3 marks. Write the syntax of the for loop. First of all you need to tell the definition and then you have to tell the syntax. So for the definition we can say for loop is an iterative loop. Iterative means which repeats for a fixed number of times. It's an iterative loop which repeats or which executes, or you can say runs the body, or you can say runs the body or the statements for the fixed number of time. As simple statement. Now we need to write the syntax. So how will be the syntax going on? So syntax will go as, you will just write out here syntax. It's like for initialization, then you will have your and the semicolon, then you will just simply check the condition part. After the condition you will have updation, like we have to motivate ourselves if we are not on the end part, and then you will have your statements here, whatever you want to repeat for the fixed number of time. You can have one statement also, or you can have n number of statements. So I have written S, statement, or you can have statements. So that's how you write your for loop. So you can take a snapshot, you can just write it in your notes. This is how, if a 3 marks question is asked like what is a for loop and you have to write the syntax, so this is how you have to represent in your copy. Okay, so you can just take the screenshot and then do it. So I think we are still till here, we are able to understand each and everything. So just give me a thumbs up if you are able to understand what I have taught you till now. Okay, just give me a thumbs up. Don't worry about the while loop. I will teach the while loop in the upcoming class. First we will learn about for loop here. Okay, so I think we are correct here. Now you need to know like how exactly a while loop runs. Okay, so you need to know this also, how a while loop runs. Great. Okay, for those who need to know about Boolean algebra, kindly check the Code Effectively channel. In the Code Effectively channel, I have taught there. Okay, how you can see the previous videos, just go on to the live sessions I have there in the link, so you can just go out there, check the channel. Okay, so for those who want, I'm just writing that again down, Code Effectively channel, for those who want to have the Boolean algebra to be watched. Okay, so let's just continue again with the upcoming topics. So now I will teach you how to write a for loop in a program. So let's say I am given a program. Here is my program that I have to write hello world for 5 times. Okay, 5 times. We will take a very small example and I will show how for loop is exactly executed in the computer, or rather you can say in the BlueJ IDE or in your program. Okay, simple. So what we will do, we will just write the for loop. You have a variable, let's take int I, and we need to write I equals to 1, I less than equals to 5, I plus plus. This is simply how you will write your for loop, because I have written this till 5 because we need to print hello world 5 times as per the program needs. Okay, simple. So within that, let's put a system.out.println statement, out.println, and here I will just write the message that I want to print. It is hello world, as simple as that. Great. Now I will just show you how exactly the control works in the program and how exactly the program goes. As I told you, first we need to know what is the starting. So we will see we are at the starting, I equals to 1. So in the computer memory, the I value will be now 1. We will check, are we on the endpoint? So in order to check our loop, our control will go and check, is I less than equals to 5? It means we are still on the race. We are running the race. We are not at the endpoint. Yeah, we can see yes that I is 1 and 1 is less than equals to 5. The condition is true. Since the condition is true, it means we are not on the endpoint. So what we will do, we will, if the condition is true, we will come in the loop and see whatever the statements are there, we will execute them. So we got that there is a print statement that says hello world. So I will just write the output here. It will be hello world. Okay. Now after we have just run a race, we need to update ourselves or motivate ourselves in order to go to the endpoint. So what we will do, after the executing the body, we will motivate ourselves. That is, the value of I will be incremented by 1. So now 1, I value initially was 1, increment the value of I by 1, 1 plus 1 gives me 2. So now I value will be 2. Again I will check after this, like is or am I on the endpoint of the race. You can see I value is 2 and we need to go till the I value is 5. So it means still we are on the middle of the track, we are still running the race. So now it will be again the condition I less than 2. So it means I 2 less than equals to 5. The condition is still true. It means we are still in the middle of the race. So system.out.println hello world will be printed again. So let's print the hello world again. Hello world is been printed. Okay, great. Now again after running the race, we will motivate ourselves. We will motivate, it is here I plus plus. So it means I value will be now 3 because I initially value was what, 2. 2 plus 1 gives me 3. Now I value is 3. I will again and go check, am I on the end part or have I reached the finishing point? Can you see? I is value is what, 3. 3 is less than equals to 5. Condition is still true. It means I am not on the end point. So again I will just print system.out.println hello world. So hello world will be again printed. Hello world. Now I will again motivate myself. I value will be again incremented to 4 and again I will check, am I on the endpoint? Is the condition still true? Yeah, 4 is less than equals to 5. The condition is true. So I will come within the loop and system.out.println hello world will be printed. So hello world is again being printed. I value now will be incremented to 5. I will check, am I on the endpoint? 5 less than equals to 5. Condition is still true because 5 is not less than 5 but 5 is equal to 5, so the condition is still true. So again hello world will be printed. So I am writing out down there, hello world will be printed. Hello world is again been printed. Now I value will be 6. Now we will check, I value is 6. So 6 less than equals to 5. The condition is false because neither 6 is less than 5 nor 6 is equal to 5. It means the condition is false. It means now I have reached the endpoint. I am above the endpoint. Okay. So now the loop will stop working, stop running. So now let's check whether we have got our things right or not, because I was told to write hello world program or hello world 5 times. So let's see, is it written 5 times? 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time and 5 time. Yes, hello world is written 5 times, or it was been printed in the output 5 times. So you can see this is how our for loop got executed and it printed for hello world for 5 times. As simple as that. So you can see instead of writing hello world system.out.println 5 times, you were able to write within 2 lines only. Okay, so actually I just have to show you in a dry run, so I use this till 5 times, or you can just put 500 times and 500 times hello world will be printed to you. So that's the beauty of the for loop, that in 2 lines only you can write n number of lines. As simple as that. So just give me a thumbs up like if you are able to understand this dry run or the basic working of the for loop. Okay, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, great. So people are able to understand. Okay, for those all who need to know recursion class 12th, just kindly go and watch the class 11 12th ICSE playlist on code effectively. You will get that there. Okay, so people are able to understand. That's very great. Priya Khan is able to understand and Yash is able to understand. Great. Okay, UV is also able to understand. People are able to understand. Great, great. Ritesh is also done. Yash is also able to understand. We have many people. Okay, so I will just run that on the request of the people. Okay, so we will run it in the BlueJ. I was also planning to run that on the BlueJ, but in the system, this is the Sahil sir's laptop I'm using, and there he hasn't installed BlueJ. So okay, I will install. It's done. So I will install in front of you only, and I will just I will run this in front of you. Okay, so all those who don't know how to install BlueJ, so just have a look how to install it. Okay, so let's done. Jar files have to be there. So we are there. Okay, so you just have to give the permission to the system and we are able to run. Okay, so it's just one more step that I told you how to install BlueJ. Also, for those who don't know, you can just go to the BlueJ, that is bluej.org, and here you can select which system you are using. For those who are using Windows, actually we are also using Windows as of now, desktop, so you can just have to click on the Windows. For Macintosh, that is the MacBook. All those who are using, they can use any other, and for all those who don't know which system they are using, they can use this other, as up to you requirement. So I think we are done with the BlueJ, and let me just open up my screen. Is BlueJ there on the screen or not? Okay, great, it's there. So I will just run that on the BlueJ for all of you. So okay, I agree to certify that we are above 16. Okay, so you need to create a new project. So I will just give the name as concept. Simple. Okay, it is concept. Done. So we will just start with the class. So just have a look. I will create the new class. Let's give the class name, for example, EG. Okay, and we can just have it. That's how you can see a class has been made. A class has been made. Now we will just directly write a program. This is a default program that gives you, that has been given. So let me just run that for you. Okay, so it's clear the screen, and I will zoom the screen for all of you so that you can write. Okay, so I will just write the class name as for EG, and then we can just start. I will take, we have to write void main, and in the void main we are done. And then we can just simply take int I variable to control the for loop. And here you can see I have written for. Okay, and let me just zoom the screen again for you, for those who are not able to see it very properly. Okay, so now int I is equals to 1 and I less than equals to 5. Okay, and then I plus plus. Okay, so we can just write a simple statement, system.out.println, and we can just write here a simple message, concept clarity life. Done. And then you can put the parenthesis off for the for loop, for the void main, and then for the class. That's a very simple basic program you have written. So this was a simple message that I gave, concept clarity life. Okay, so now what we will do, we will just compile it here. Okay, so okay, I have declared I already, so we don't need to go again. So you can see here no compile time errors. Okay, so we don't have any errors as of now. Let me just remove my video here so that you can see what I am exactly writing. Great. So here I have just compiled. You can see here it has been written no syntax error. It means your program is perfect, no error out here. Okay, so now let's just close this. I have closed. Right click, you have to create the object. You can see here message has been written here, create object. Okay, I will create the object. Okay, this is the object being created. In the previous class I told you we can create n number of objects for a class. Do you want to see in a visual manner? You can see I can create n number of objects. Okay, there are n number of objects. If I entire night if I sit here and making the objects, I can make the objects. You can see here these red are the objects that have been created for a single class. So it's FOREG 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the similar way. So let's run. Right click here and it's void main. So you can see we need concept clarity live to be written 5 times. Just count. Is it 5 times? 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time. So it means our for loop ran perfectly. Okay, so this is how your object's been created. If I want to just run it for 500 times, let's see, 500 times. I will just let's be little mischievous and see is it running or not. It will not say anything. You can see class compiled and there are no such errors out here. So just close it. Again right click, make the object, right click on the object and void main. So you can see it has been printed 500 times. If you can just count, it is 500 times been printed on the screen. Okay, so I'm just scrolling down. You can see it's 500 times. Computer would say no. Okay, so this is how a basic for loop works. Okay, so just give me a thumbs up like if you are able to understand till here how a for loop is working. So I'm just looking from my phone. Just give me a thumbs up if you are able to understand or not till now. Okay, so the people who use asking me like which book I use, I don't use any book. I have my own I use my own concepts only. I have just read it from my notes of my 10th standard and I know, so I don't refer a book as of now. Okay, so again Priya is able to understand, people are able to understand. Okay, Akash is able to understand. Okay, Himanshu, fan club, JK, great, people are able to understand. Neeru Singh is able to understand. Okay, Himanshu, Khan is able to understand. Ritesh, everyone is able to understand. Great guys. So you just keep letting me know in the live chat if you are able to understand or not. It motivates me to teach more. Okay, so now you must be understanding, you must be having a proper, I would say a rough example like how is for loop been working. Let's do some mischief. And what if I say a person to run infinite times, or a person who is running a race, I will just ask him don't stop. Okay, so if he runs infinite without any stop, how to do that? What you can do, just remove this. Okay, it means you are running the race for infinite time. There is no end point. The condition I told you was the end point, so we just removed it. Now you can see in the computer also The loop is running. There is no end point. It will run till, I would say, infinite time, or the entire night, or the entire day, till the time we don't stop from ourselves, or manually if we don't stop. So how? Just see the magic. And you are asked in your board exams to make an infinite loop. So this is what an infinite loop I am making. Okay, so just look at that, right click, done, object been created, create the object, we are done, and you can see it's an infinite loop been created. You can see it's running, and if I won't stop, it won't stop also. So entire night if we sit here, it will be running. And you can see here also on the scroll bar, it is been running. Even I cannot move my scroll bar because it is running. There is no stop, so that I can go and look on the topmost, like what is there in the topmost. Okay, so this means it is just printing, it's running. The computer speed is so fast that that's how it has been showing. Okay, so if there would be more fast computers, even we were not able to see that also. That, so my computer RAM is almost 8 GB, so it is a little lag here. So this how it shows that the program is still running. Another type of the example, if you want to see if your program is running or not, you can see here. Okay, let's minimize this. Let me minimize this. Give me a second, let me minimize if it is possible. Okay, great. So here you can see. Okay, so I have to move my video also to make you show all, like what I'm trying to say to all of you. Okay, so this blue bar that is just moving from here and there, you can see it is known as a work indicator. It means the virtual machine is executing, it is showing, it means the program is still running, it hasn't been stopped yet. So if this blue bar would have been stopped, it means the program executed and it ran completely fine, and now we have no worries, the program ended. But this blue bar just moving from left to right, right to left again, it means the program is still running, it hasn't been ended. Okay, it's just a bar indicating it is still working. Okay, so it's working, it shows working indicator, indicates that the virtual machine is executing. Okay, so and you can see here also it's running, the program didn't stop, it's running. Okay, so now how to stop this? You just have to click on the blue bar right there at the small arrow and it will stop. It stopped. Okay, so you can see here also it stopped. Stop. Okay, now how to tell you guys, like okay, now I will not create an infinite loop, just I will tell you. Okay, so when the program is not running, you can see the blue bar didn't appear. Now in order to show you how blue bar, so let's keep it I less than equals to 10. Okay, so let's compile this. After compiling, if I just run this, okay, so you can see if I run this and it just ran 10 times and we are done. Okay, so here you can see the blue bar didn't appear, it just came in nick of time, or rather I can say in seconds, in nanoseconds. The computer was so fast, it was able to produce these 10 lines of code for us, and that's why we were not able to see the blue bar. It was so fast, like a flash. In the nick of time it was able to just come and go. But when it was infinite loop, we were able to see the blue bar. This is the knowledge that sometimes we are not taught. So you should know how things are working, how infinite loop is working. You should know. So I hope now you are able to understand in normal for loop, working of the for loop, the basic terminology that we use, that this is the initialization, this is the condition checking, and this is the updation part. This is the body of the for loop, and then how to create an infinite loop. Simple. Okay, now if I just remove these updation part, okay, let's do more mischief. If I remove this also, what will happen? Okay, so let me just bring my photo right to somewhere else. Let me just put myself here. Okay, so now you can see if I just remove the updation part, I am able to create an infinite loop, because I am just standing at one point only and I am not able to move. So it will create an infinite loop. I will be just running on my same position only. I won't be moving ahead. I will be just running on the spot, and it will create an infinite loop again. Okay, so let's see. Right click, create the object. After creation of the object, just run the loop. Okay, so we are there again. It's an infinite loop. You can see the loop is also running. Okay, the you can see the output window on the terminal window, it's running, and then you can see the blue bar is back because it is an infinite loop. That's why it's running. If I don't stop, it will not stop. Simple. So this is also how another way to take the infinite loop. These questions are asked in your board exams. How to make the infinite loop, you should know. Infinite loop can be made in two manners. Skip the updation part, or you can skip the condition part. There are many ways, but for you, two ways are more than sufficient. Okay, so I think let's end this function here. Okay, so this is a way you can just directly do that. Okay, it's one and then done. Okay, so this is a way you can try it, and if you want to skip both, you can do that also. Let's try this. What will happen? Let me just show you again. I just wrote the initialization part. I skipped the updation and the condition part. So let's see. Let's compile this, run this, and running it, creating the object, and again back on the same page we have the infinite loop made. You can see the infinite loop is back. So I told you three ways: skip the updation part, skip the condition part, or you can skip both the parts. Simple. So you can try this at your home and see if this is working or not. I have shown you it is working. So if it not works on your system, just check, there would be few errors. Just refer this video how you can create the loops. Okay, so just cross it. So just give me a thumbs up if you are able to understand till here about the for loop types, like how to get an infinite loop, how to create a finite loop, and in the infinite loop also how many ways you can create the infinite loop. Okay, Akash, I will teach the pattern in the upcoming class, because for the patterns to be taught you need to have a very good knowledge over the for loop. So first I will teach for loop properly, then only I will just skip to the patterns. And don't worry, and if you still want to learn patterns, you can go and refer the Code Effectively channel. I have taught there also, and if you want, on the concept clarity playlist you can check in the computer also. Okay, so just give me a thumbs up, like if you are able to understand. Everyone is able to understand. Great. Okay, Khan, you can just watch the playlist of live. I believe it would be there. Okay, so I think you are able to write. Okay, array will be taught. Yes, I am just, don't run very fast. We will teach everything, but in a proper manner. Okay, so people are able to understand. Most of the people are able to understand. Okay, so let's just have a look. I will just tell you how you can get it. Okay, so it's there on the YouTube. Okay, just search Code Effectively and you have it. Here you can just have all your whatever you want to see. Okay, so go to the playlist. Okay, for those who want to load array, they want full playlist, all are available. You can just check. You can have a complete ICSE syllabus, also programming syllabus here. You can just check your theory content. You can have your Boolean algebra, your entire detailed theory. Everything is available. You just need to check it properly. So browse the channel. You have many things out there for you. Okay, so there are many things, canop maps, everything. Okay, so exception handling, series. Okay, patterns are there. You can just check array, automorphic, entire theory of your ICSE has been completed, and there are your patterns. You can check the patterns also. Okay, so you can just check the channel and you can get it. Everything has been completed here. So do let me know if any other questions you have for me. Okay, let me know if we have any other questions. I will take your queries and we will just end the session out here. Okay, so I don't think anyone would be having any doubt after this class. Okay, no doubt. Yes, I am from Agra. Okay, so I don't think we have any doubt here, so we can just end the session. Okay, when we use I, use I to control the loop. Okay, we need some variable to control the loop, else we won't be able to run the loop. Okay, how can we start from the beginning? Just watch the channel, that's it. We can say from the beginning only. Okay, so I don't think we have any doubts here. Great, so people are not having any doubt. I hope this class was beneficial to all of you. In the upcoming class, we will learn about the while loop and do while loop. so that we are able to complete our entire loop. After the loops, we will come back to the patterns and then numbers and many more things. For those who want to learn at a very faster on their own with the videos, they can just have a glimpse over the channel and they can get everything has been completed. Okay, so that was it for this session. I hope you like this session. Thank you so much for joining with us.